With World of Warcraft: The War Within still being pretty new, I want to give you guys some amazing settings and add-ons that will help improve your experience beyond what you get when you first install the game. So let's get started. I think one of the most highly requested things that I've heard is how to change your font in the game so that the UI and everything has a completely different font. So let me show you how to do that. All right, so the first thing you want to do is open up your battle.net, and where it says play, right next to that where the options button is, click on show and explorer. Then open up your retail folder, and then in here you're going to see a list, and you're probably not going to have the one that says fonts, so we're going to create that and then click new folder and name this one to fonts. Since I already have one, I'm going to name this one fonts demo, but you're just going to name yours fonts. Click in there, and now you want to have your font selected. Make sure it is a .ttf font, which stands for true type font. If you have a .otf font, you can have to convert it or it won't work. But once you do have it selected, bring it on over. So here's an example of mine. And then I'm going to use salmon bold.ttf and bring it over, drag and drop it here. Then you're going to Control C this and Control V it to copy 5 copies of this. You might have seen some other videos on this in the past where they only have 4. The reason why I'm adding 5 is because this will work on retail and classic, and you'll need all these anyway. So moving right along. Once you have these, let's start with the first one. These are all going to be renamed, and the way that I rename these are case sensitive, so make sure that you rename them exactly as they appear. So let's start with the first one, and it's going to be ARIALN, and then you can just tab, and then the next one's going to be Frizz QT with 2 underscores right next to that. 1, 2. Next one is going to be MORPHEUS, just like in the Matrix. Following that, you're going to have skurri, all lowercase. And then finally is going to be UF_font. And that's it. So once you have all of these, you don't have to do anything else. You can just click play, and then as soon as you load up, you're going to see that all your fonts and everything has changed. And if you have Plater, I'll show you how to do that later on in the video. But there you go. Fonts are all changed, and now you have the fonts that you would like, and you can change these at any time. Keep in mind that you have to do this for every single one that you end up changing it to. So yeah. So this second one's pretty highly requested as well, and that's how to zoom out from your character even further from its default setting. So let me show you how to do that. So by default, this is the maximum distance that your character is going to have when you first log into the game, but we can make it a little bit further. The way we do that is through macros or through an add-on that gives you a slider to do the same thing. So let me show you the macro way to do this, and that's pretty simple. What you're going to want to do is type in console, cameraDistanceMaxZoomFactor is 1.9, and then give it an icon that you can remember. This is just so you can put it back to default if for some reason you ever want to go back to the default settings. But to make it further, you're going to type in the same thing, /console cameraDistanceMaxZoomFactor, but this time you're going to enter 2.6. So 2.6 is the maximum distance, which is this one here, and as you can see, it's a little bit further. Max distance at standard, max distance with it fixed. So the other way that you can do this is use an add-on, and the add-on is called Advanced Interface Options. And on here, you can just, once you have it installed, go to camera, and then just a slider right here to 2.6. And that's pretty much it. That's all you got to do. There's nothing else to that. So moving right along. This next one's all about the looting and making it a little bit quicker. Now, if you know about auto loot already and you're a seasoned player, we're going to take it one step further. So the first thing you want to do is head over to your options, and then head over to the search bar, and then type in the word loot. Where it says auto loot, turn that on. And if you want to have a binding key here, you can, or a loot key rather. I don't like to have one, so I leave it to none. That's totally up to you though. Close that out once you have it turned on, and then head over to CurseForge. Go to the browse, and then you're looking for faster loot. So faster space loot, because there's 2 of them, but make sure you put faster space loot and then enter, and then install this guy. And what this is going to do is it's going to remove that delay when you're auto looting, so that way it just automatically loots a lot faster. And there's a pretty significant difference. I think it's going to improve what some of you guys experience when you're playing the game. So even if you're a seasoned player and you have auto loot turned on, this will benefit you. Trust me, just try it. See if you like it. This next one is an add-on I just could not play World of Warcraft without, and that is called pler. You may have heard of it, but what it does is makes it so that the nameplates and health bars appear differently, and in fact actually adds information to the game that you would not see in the standard UI. I want to give a shout out to Quazii, a really great YouTuber. You probably heard of him, but he created a profile for everybody to use, and I do use his, and I've just changed it a little bit. But shout out to Quazii because he made it look really great, pristine. So good job, Quazii, if you ever see this. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is open up your CurseForge and then go over to the search bar and type in pler. It's probably going to be the first one. So you're looking for pler nameplates and install this guy right here. Once you got it installed, you're going to type in /pler in the chat box. And if you were watching earlier and you installed all the fonts, make sure you do this part right here because this is very important. So go to the search right here, type in font and enter, and each one of these drop down menus that you see, change these to what's called Frizz Quadrata TT. And the Frizz Quadrata TT is the default font for World of Warcraft, but since we've changed it, you're going to want to change this so that pler basically imports all that into everything that you're seeing. So that way when you're looking around, for example, let's just pick some random guy, this guy right here, his font is the font that you want it to appear as. So yeah, make sure you do that. So the next thing you want to do is go to Quazii.com. You've already installed pler. So the next thing is just go to the Google Drive mirror here that he has, click on that, and then you're going to want to manually select all this. So go and highlight everything, Control C that guy, head back over here, go to import profile, and then paste all of that right there, and you'll see where it says import data verified, and click OK, and you'll get Quazii's imported profile for pler, which is amazing. Once again, another shout out because he just put a lot of work into it and it looks good. Trust me, you want this. Do you remember when World of Warcraft made it so that we could customize our UI? But then again, we couldn't customize it completely because we couldn't make our chat boxes appear where we wanted, and like we couldn't move the map around. Well, here's a way to fix that, and it's huge for people like me that played on an ultra wide where it's like super pasted to like the far left or the far right. Now, if you're one of those players, you're going to benefit from this tremendously. So let me show you that too. All right, so once again, you can head over to CurseForge, and this time go into the search bar and type in move no space any. So click on that guy right here at the very top and install. And so what this is going to do is going to make it so you can like literally move almost everything. I think there's like one thing that I couldn't move, but that's about it. But I can't remember what it is. So like, for example, the map, right? So you see how it's glued over here for me? You can move the map anywhere you'd like. And the same thing with chat bubbles, which is really great. So like chat bubbles, when you talk to NPC, you can put this wherever you like. So super huge. Like I said, for people that played on ultra wides, even if you don't play on ultra wides, it's just nice to be able to customize your UI however you like, and moveany really enhances that to the next level. And my last one is going to be lightmount. This one made big waves for me in Dragonflight because as a druid main, you know, things got really weird with flying. If you guys are druids out there, you know what I'm talking about, but this is going to benefit pretty much everyone, whether you're a druid or not. This is a good one to have. And one more time, head over to CurseForge. This time type in LITEMOUNT for lightmount, no spaces in there, and install this guy right here. Once you got it installed, then you're just going to type in the chat box /LITE-mount. And what you're going to see here is basically all the different things that you have available. I'm going to point out a couple things that really stand out. So number one, the rules and groups. So let's look at the groups here for just a second. You can see that I've created a PvP mount group. And so what this is basically saying that anytime I'm in a PvP environment, whether it's arena or in BGs, these are the mounts that I want to use whenever I use my macro. So that doesn't actually activate it. This is just as a reference point for group. Then you're going to head over to the rules and then head over to right here and make a new rule. This is mine here. So let's take a look at that one. So I've added a PvP condition, right? Which means when I'm in PvP, not swimming, I'm going to have a priority mount, and that's going to come from the list of my groups. So it's going to be this group that we created earlier. And that's pretty much it. Like anytime I'm in PvP, it's going to pull from that specific pool of mounts that I've created. So really, really great. It's super useful to have. The next thing is obviously your mount. So you have aquatic, ground, flying, and skywriting. And basically you just set whatever mount you want to come up whenever you're activating in these environments. So again, it just makes it so that everything is streamlined to one button. And it also can include the environment that you're in. So if you're like in the water, if you're in PvP, if you're in PvE, if you're out in the world, you can create it so that one button automatically activates the mount that you want to use based on the rules that you set within this add-on. It's really great to have. But that's it, guys. That's my top 5 settings and add-ons that enhance my experience in the War Within. Let me know if they've helped you out in the comments down below, or you can catch me live while I'm on Twitch. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.